All right, Village Tech, we have finished our first 8 days of instruction, and we have some good news for that. Our students have been learning the 7 habits of highly effective people, getting to know one another, getting to know their teachers, and understanding what it is to be a VT student. In fact, our 11th graders spent some time interviewing elementary students here at VT to learn about how they would like to see the 7 habits demonstrated to them in book form. So the 11th graders are now designing and writing and illustrating these books for our elementary students. Looking forward to seeing those published. And a place they might be published is our new website. So we have a soft launch on our new website this week. Information will continue to be updated and transferred over from the previous one, but we are pumped to have new information and a new look on our website. Also, it is time for the North Texas Giving Day versus Count Chocolate Challenge. Chocolate sales have begun and early giving has begun for North Texas Giving Day, which is on September 23rd. So you don't have to wait until September 23rd to participate in North Texas Giving Day or chocolate sales. And then I want to talk about, importantly, what's going on right now with COVID-19 and where we find ourselves. Like we said last week, we're going to continue to share the good news, the great things that are going on with our students, but we also want to be mindful that we find ourselves at a really challenging time during this pandemic. Yesterday, we wrote a letter for parents and we had 23 positive cases. Today, we are now sitting at 27 positive cases, which represents about 2% of our student body. That letter had some key information regarding how to communicate a positive case with an online form that's on our website, as well as how to indicate an online absence, which is also on our website. You can find this information under the COVID-19 tab. Additionally, for Tuesday, you'll see information along with this video. For students who are at home, we have an online learning Google Meet set up for them. So for pre-K4, there's a link to a Google Meet. For 5-8, there's a link to a Google Meet. And for 9-12, there's a link to a Google Meet. The virtual instruction looks a little bit different this week as opposed to last year, but it will have work for your students. They need to log in at the times for those campuses within our village so that they can be counted present for learning. Additionally, you can find more information on our website as well. So where do we find ourselves with this? Let's talk about the tools that we have for COVID-19. First and foremost, masks. Masks are strongly encouraged at Village Tech. We're going to continue to follow the prevailing order, but that doesn't mean that we cannot apply some common sense to the situation and continue to wear masks for students and staff. It is strongly encouraged for all on our campus while moving about the campus. Also, vaccinations. We have a vaccine clinic that we've partnered with who's available on Mondays and Thursdays, providing vaccinations to our community for the appropriate age groups. This is an optional service, an opportunity for our community, Mondays and Thursdays from 4 to 6. At the same time, they are also offering COVID-19 testing. In addition to that, they've agreed to come out once a week, and for any student whose parent provides written consent, they'll provide testing for the entire campus once a week. This allows us to get ahead of any possible asymptomatic cases or cases that are early in their symptomology, so that if a student is identified as positive, they can immediately start learning from home in the stay-at-home option through the remote conferencing found on our website. These 3 tools are absolutely critical as we navigate the next couple months of the Delta variant and its spread throughout North Texas and beyond, and of course our school community. So masking strongly encouraged, vaccinations for those that are eligible, and then also consistent testing so that we can catch cases early. And then finally, I think this is perhaps the most important to keep in mind. If your child is feeling sick, if there is someone in the household who is running fever and is in the process of getting tested, please keep them home. Just like they would any other time with an infectious disease. In the same way, if your child has symptoms, which we've learned that with COVID-19, there are a number of symptoms that can manifest themselves from allergies to the common cold, but in fact turn out to be COVID-19. Please keep them home, get tested, talk to your child's physician, and then choose the remote conferencing option at this time. We will see what happens to our case count over the next 4 days, Our clinic staff will be checking their emails and the form a couple of times this weekend. If you do not get an immediate response this weekend, it's because they're checking it at predetermined times. And then on Monday, we'll see where we find ourselves and communicate anything that we may need to know for the upcoming week, if there are any significant changes for any classrooms or grade levels as a result of the results that come back from the testing that was provided today. Again, on Tuesday, there are Google Meets to log into, work that teachers have available, and we'll continue to work through this together as we move forward. Thank you again for a great start to the year. Thank you again for your students and their diligence. There are so many students working hard to get to know one another, to make new students feel welcome, and then of course to figure out this world of design and making and building empathy towards their fellow student. Again, we'll continue to work through COVID. Thank you. Have a great weekend.